my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless, sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious, I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed, I hate being open, I hate being broken, I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion, anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion, I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken, I can't move on till I let go, I feel so lost, never at home, need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go, I can't move on till I let go, I feel so lost, never at home, need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go.
The pain makes it real, I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill the bad thoughts and steal a good thought and feel, I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost, I feel, I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel, cause this drive it kills, and it gives me chills, a nice road it feels, I slip off the peel, and crash all the steel, will I ever heal?
I can't move on till I let go, I feel so lost, never at home, need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go, I can't move on till I let go, I feel so lost, never at home, need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. I hope I didn't blow your eardrums out. I actually had the music down quite low. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you can adjust your volume pretty quick. Try to come in not too excited. That way you have an opportunity to go ahead and turn that volume down, because I'm sure you had it up trying to listen to the music. Here nor there, welcome to the show. My name is TradeFly. I'm going to bring you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. We have a massive day on the horizon. Interest rate cuts. We're going to find out what's about to happen. Today is going to shake the market a little bit. You already seeing a little bit of a reaction, right? You saw a little bit of a cool down, volume kind of trended down going into that decision. Not surprising, right? A little bit of a tentative approach going into it, just waiting. And now the market will react once we get that announcement. We will talk about that. We will look at some key levels on the chart. Let's say they make a decision one way or another. That is okay. We are going to find a way that we get to take an opportunity away from what actually happens today. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get over the chat. I'm going to say what's up to everybody, because you know I love giving you guys your shout outs. I'm going to try to keep it as quick as possible here, but I did see my dude Alex O Crypto. He was just live, so I don't know if he's doing this live or if he just ended his stream, what the case may be, but thank you for being here, bro. Much appreciated. All love for sure. All right, so giving you guys some shout outs here. Let's go down the list. All Set was in the house. What up to you? Good to see you. As always, hope all is well with you. B Team Crypto, my dude. How are you? Thank you for being here as well. We got Jesse Galuk. He's a moderator. What up, dude? A to Ace, my dude, with a yo. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. I don't know why I'm not able to scroll right now. This is not gonna work. Why is it doing that? There we go, and we're back. My dude HRJ Trading, he is putting out some banger signals. He's in a bunch of discords, whether it's mine, it's in Alex's, he's in InvestiShare. My man is all over the place, and he is dropping some fire setups. He even has his own discord as well, so go support him and show him some love. That would be much appreciated. Rashad, how are you, man? Good to see you in the chat as well. Scrolling down some more, we got my man K Diggity. No doubt. What up to you, bro? Good to see you. And Eugene and Brian, thank you for subscribing. I just saw that pop up. It's not often that I can actually catch you during the show, man, but thank you guys for subscribing. Much appreciated. Much love to you guys. And we got another one. We got Blue Collar Trader, my man. Another sub. 3 subs in a row. Tic-tac-toe. Let's get it going. All right, scrolling down, of course, we got my man Harp, and we got TRTL. It is coming in fast. All right, I love it. I'm thinking Alex may have pushed some people my way, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. It is, gosh, I appreciate you, man. I can't even explain it. Hey, Alex has been one of the realest dudes in the space, and he has helped me so much during this adventure that we call content creation. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's keep it going. My dude K Diggity, no doubt. How you doing, brother? Good to see you in the chat as well. We got Melissa in here with a hello. How are you? We watching TradeFly. Alex, my man. Thank you very much, dude. That is so appreciated. All right, scrolling down, we got my dude Clate the Great. What up, bro? He said, my dog. How you doing, man? Good to see you as well. We got Sharif. He said, GM, what up to you? Thank you for being here as well. And Blue Collar Trader, thank you very much. Thank you, man. Thank you for subscribing. It's much appreciated. If I didn't give you guys a shout out, please let me know in the chat. I will get to you for sure at some point during the show. I try my best. All right, so big news today. China bans companies from purchasing Nvidia. So we do talk a little bit about stocks here, and we have some key levels. And the reason I'm bringing this up is not just so much to talk about the news. I'm not going to bore you with that. It's because now that we have this news, you're expecting some sort of reaction. And now we got to go to the charts, and we'll look at somewhere on the charts where we could find a nice buying opportunity for Nvidia. It's really that simple. I'm not gonna bore you with talking about it and yapping up here. Let's go over to the bubbles. We got MYX. That is up 65.1%. That is moving in all the right directions. It's looking good. I know that my man Crypto Squid has been taking some plays on MYX, just hitting bangers. He's in the Discord as well. XMR down 9.1%. That is moving in the wrong direction. You got Maker up 7.7, Arrow up 7.9. Sky up 8%. Everything else seems to be kind of in the middle, right? You see a little bit of red, a little bit of green, 2-3%. Nothing too crazy. It feels like the calm before the storm is really what I'm feeling right now. Let's go over to the total market cap. Total market cap is currently sitting at 4.02 trillion. That's looking good, up 0.34%. 24-hour trading volume is at 146 billion. That is up 8.42%. So not a big move. All right, so not a lot of trading volume right now. Bitcoin dominance is at 57.4%. So steady Eddie there. That is good, right? If you guys want to see that rotation, you want to see the consolidation for Bitcoin, Ethereum made its move, and then you want to see that rotation into alts. You want to see the Bitcoin dominance kind of stay down, all right? You don't want to see it moving up. And what's kind of good to see, like, what do you take away from this, right? We got a little instability coming in right now because we have a big decision that's coming up today, but you're not seeing Bitcoin dominance shoot up through the roof. And really, a lot of times you will see that whenever there's kind of indecision or indecisiveness in the market, you'll see Bitcoin kind of be that safe haven for people that are in crypto. It hasn't really changed, and that is a good sign. And total market cap has gone up, so good sign there. Bitcoin currently sitting at 115,784. Ethereum is at 440.90. All right, so fear and greed index at neutral, at 51. That is neutral. And then altcoin season, that metric is up, man. That's at 71 out of 100. So that kind of, that correlates, right? Market cap up, Bitcoin's consolidating, and then you're seeing Bitcoin dominance kind of stay where it's at. That's good. That opens up the door, at least for a rotation into altcoin season. All right, now to the next part. All right, so for you guys that are just subbing and you're new here, we got something interesting for you. It is called the Daily Degen. All right, here on the Daily Degen, the way this works is we do not do a lot of TA on it. We actually just have a little bit of fun. And what I do is I take your guys's vote, and we did get another sub. We got, I think it said Armand. I hope I just caught a glimpse of it. I don't get to hear it. I just have to catch it on the screen sometimes. But what we do here is we give you guys the opportunity to vote whether we go long or short with minimal TA. Okay, minimal TA. Sometimes I'll try to set you up a little bit by where it's at in correlation to the VWAP as well as the 200. But other than that, I kind of just go with what you guys want. So it is a low capital 20x, right? We just find a poop-a-doobie coin, right? Right now we're going to use pump.fun because we did that yesterday and we were actually big winners yesterday. We'll go back and look at that real quick. Order history, there you go. There it is, 30.42%. Nice little banger for the Daily Degen. So here we go. You guys are 77% moon right now. I have no choice. There is no denying it. You guys want to go long. All right, so I'm going to put 5 on it. All right. And that's it, man. That's how we roll. And we'll come back and take a look at it. It's not, again, we're not going to do a lot of TA. This is not how I trade. I am not a true degen. It's more for fun, here for the show. Get some interaction with you guys in the chat. And yeah, it's just something we do for fun. And honestly, the crazy part about it is you guys are sentiment based, right? I would say you have a bullish bias. But it's okay because the trend right now, the macro trend is bullish, and you guys hit more than you miss, which is really funny, right? As much as people do TA on all of these coins and these projects and they deep dive, you guys are just sentiment-based traders, and you do quite well. So maybe, you incorporate a little bit of risk management in there. I'm just saying, maybe it's not as hard as you think it is. All right, so that trade is in there. I went for it. And let me be clear, this is not where I would take a long position, but hey, we're hoping for the best. We are retesting an area of horizontal resistance right now. See, now I can do TA on the backside. We're retesting a horizontal level of resistance right now. You would like to see they breakout retest before you would actually take this one. So there's your little horizontal level. You would like to see something that looks like that, and then look for that continuation. But that retest is where you would preferably like to take an entry, but that's all right. We're going for it. We're hoping for the best. So let's go ahead and keep it going. We're going to go over to the economic calendar, and really the big news of the day is going to be the federal interest rate decision. Now that comes right out. Maybe we'll kind of keep this show going, maybe another 10-15 minutes to see how that shakes the market. Maybe we'll even look for some of that volatility, and maybe we can jump into something. We shall see. I would expect volatility as we get closer to that decision, and as that decision is announced, I really think you're going to see the market shake a little bit. It's just post that announcement, then I think can formulate a bias of where we think we're going to go with this. So understanding it a little bit, there's a couple things I want you to think about here, and those are the market itself over the last 2 years has been relatively bullish in October and November. So this decision can have an impact on what we're expecting for the later half of this year, and think about where you're at in the 4-year cycle. So kind of taking all of this together, I do think it's not that this is the biggest decision. It's really that this decision, I think, is going to have an impact on the bias for the remainder of the year. And it's a personal thought. We'll see how that plays out. I do think, I think it's going to impact October specifically, but November, that might be enough time to kind of shake the mess. But I think the interesting part about right now is the rate cut in my mind of 0.25 is baked in, I think. All right, it's a personal opinion, but I think the stock market is smart enough to know that when you're getting up over an 80% chance of seeing that interest rate cut, that they bake that in a little bit. And if we don't get the cut, then that's going to shake the market. And if we get too heavy of a cut, a 0.5, then that's going to shake the market, because then people are going to be like, oh, whoa, hold on, we headed for a recession that you're not talking about, or what? So there's definitely, I think a 0.25 is going to be the expectation. And then we'll kind of see how the market reacts there. I don't think we'll have a huge reaction. I just think it's leading into that announcement is where you're going to see some of that shake going on. All right, let's get back to the charts. Enough talking about that. We do have a couple hot spots on the map, and usually I am on the 3-day when I'm looking at the liquidation heat map. Here to the high side at about 117.5, you are seeing a hot spot of liquidity. Now this is on the weekly, all right? So this is a little bit more heavy than the 3-day. Now, usually, I'm usually on the 3-day, but I mean, you can zoom out and you're really seeing some hot spots. So 117.5, we're going to annotate that on the chart. We're going to keep a close eye on that, and it makes a lot of sense. And I'll show you why here in a second. And then you got about 114. All right, so we'll just use a nice round number, about 114 there. And then let's go over to the chart. All right, so looking at the chart, I said 117.5. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. So we're good. I already got it marked on the chart. That's good. All right, 117.5. Let's look at that, and let's see why this is important. One, what we're starting to see here, right? You had a nice little horizontal around your monthly pivot, your weekly pivot, nice little breakout retest. All right, this is what you want to see. You do want to see a breakout retest of that horizontal level. That is good. Staying over the 21, all good, right? That's kind of a nice setup to take a quick little long position. Now, if you were to have taken that long, all right, this is where the fun is done for me, and I've talked about this already, and I talked about this yesterday as well. People were saying, hey, like, I think we're gonna go long. I'm not longing here where I know that there's a horizontal level, when I say very clear, it doesn't get much more clear than this. And why do I say that? I want you to understand my analysis and why I'm looking at that. Look at all of this right here. When you look at all of that, the price action is telling you the story. All right, support. Finally it broke down, right? Stayed underneath of it, came back up, kind of waffled with it, and then you had a nice move to the upside. But what is very important to this, what's very important to this is when it broke down again, it comes back up for the retest right here, and ultimately you saw continuation to the downside. So you could look at that, and if you guys have been here for a while, you will understand, you've already heard this, but we obviously have some new people today. And so for that reason, we need to talk about this and understand how I'm identifying these levels. You see that breakdown, right? And so if you just stay on the chart right here, you can see this box, right? We've identified this area. All right, we've been talking about it for a long time here, on this channel. But what is amazing about it is if you identify that level and you take that box and you extend it out, amazing. Where do you find resistance? Right there at that level. Okay, so it had to test that level again. And a lot of times what I talk about, when I talk about scalping or maybe more intraday type trades, I'm looking for that initial reaction. Okay, so my trades may go for a day or two based on something like this kind of setup where you're coming back to retest a very key horizontal level, and I'm looking for that initial rejection. But then it's a matter of like, okay, I'm in, I'm out, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. How do I get out? Then you got to identify your levels below you. And I'm usually pretty conservative with that. I don't typically stay in for a very long time. Understand that this channel revolves around trading. If you're talking about hodling, just kind of a different approach. We do find some of those trades, when I'm talking about some of the swing trades, some of the bigger trades, some of the trades that I've held on to for a longer time, some of these spot trades that I've taken, that's a different setup than what we're talking about right now. So what's key right here? Well, there's a couple levels that are very key in my mind. This is one of them, all right? Where we saw this rejection right here is important. And there's a couple things that I want you to take note of. The liquidity was right here. The liquidity was right there in that zone. And how do I know that? Well, I can read the chart and tell you that, but I also can go to the heat map and could have told you that this was at 117.1. 117.1. That's where it was just a day or two ago. 117.1. Well, you can see what happened. You got the wick up, selling pressure came in, it took the liquidity out because the liquidity was sitting right above these rejections, right? What happens? Well, a lot of traders, what they'll do, so you really understand what's happening, is they take these hits of resistance, right? 1, 2, 3, cool. And they put their stop loss above it, right above the wick, or they take a leveraged short position, a high leverage usually. All right, those are the ones that are going to get liquidated. Those are the ones that they're going to chase, is those high leverage positions, and they're going to try to take those out. All right, they take those out, and then selling pressure comes in, right? And that's how you see a very nice setup for actually a little bit of downside potential. And that's one of the key setups that I'll look for here. Now, I like more confluence. Like this one is clear because it's a very clear horizontal. But typically if we're looking for something, hey, we like to kind of have something that is overlaid, right? Maybe the 618 kind of lining up with a POC, kind of lining up with a moving average, things of that nature. Like if you see those high confluence, probably like those plays, I jump on those. But this one is good enough in terms of saying, hey, we have a very, very clear horizontal. We have already seen that price action has respected it 3 times. And then we know that liquidity, the hot spot on the map, was sitting there. So it made a lot of sense to come up and grab that liquidity and then make a move down. So this is what you want to look for in terms of, are you going to go long? Are you going to go short? This is, you have a line in the sand. You have something that you've identified on the charts. Let me clean some of this up here because it's got all kinds of crazy going on. You have something on the chart, and then you see the reaction. And that's when you start analyzing that area to be like, okay, cool. Like, is this a opportunity for taking a long or for taking a short based around a key level that I've identified? And so what you're going to look for, you'll go to a little bit lower time frames, right? I'd recommend maybe going down to the hourly, especially for this sort of like intraday type trading. And you're going to look for this to say, okay, are we having candle closes above this zone? Did we get an impulsive move through the zone? An impulsive move through the zone, that's a nice large candle that you're going to see move through that way. And a lot of say, hey, I want to see it move through with conviction, right? That's what you want to see. You want to see that big candle, but what does that open up the door for? Is it for it to come back down and retest the level? And when you see that, then, right, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, as OC guy says. That is when you're starting to look at taking that move up. Okay, so this, not good enough. Taking a long position and talking about taking a long position when you're getting to a level that has liquidity and it's already certified as an area of resistance is quite risky. It's quite risky to take that long position. Now, are you ahead of the move? Yeah, you can always be like, hey, I'm the smartest guy in the room. If it were to go through and blow through and break out, I just don't like the probabilities. All right, the statistics don't align for me. All right, I would like to see a breakout retest. Obviously, it's more conservative, but that would be the way I would approach it. Now, this is more of a setup for a short. Obviously, at this point, it's easy to say. I have the benefit of hindsight. Okay, and I understand that. I will say that live. Unlike some other people out there, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, it's a beautiful short setup. Yeah, well, you have the benefit of hindsight. Like, you can look back at it and say, yeah, it was a great short setup. And that's what I will say. I'll be honest here with that. I can say that now, obviously looking back on it. But here nor there, this is a nice setup. So what would we be looking for at this case, or at this point, is I'm not going to take a trade in the middle of this. It's craziness, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. That's not what I'm here to do. It's not what I'm about. What I would be looking for is, now, do we interact with that level again, or do we come back down to the weekly pivot? Now, with the weekly pivot, what do we have? We have a couple things aligning here in a really nice setup. If it's an if-then statement. All right. Now, if we come down to the 21 SMA, the weekly pivot, the 0.382, and liquidity, we saw the hot spot on the map is 114.1. All right. There's a hot spot there, which means it's on the books, right? There's stop losses there. There's leverage positions that are going to get liquidated. There is an incentive to go down and take that. There's an incentive. But really, what we formulate our decision on whether we're going to take a trade here is the reaction to that area. Again, I've already talked through it, but you're going to look for kind of an extended wick. You're going to see that buying pressure, and you're going to see candle closes above, right? You want to see it establish itself back into that range before you take that long position, okay? So if you see a big move to the downside and the body of the candles are starting to work its way down below the weekly pivot, or you see, you know, a couple candle closes, or, you know, whatever the case may be, that the candles will look vastly different. It's not a wick. You're seeing actual bodies of candles start to work their way down here. That should be a red flag in your mind. I'm not taking a long position because I'm seeing those candles close below a very key level. That is actually, you know, a hint to be like, hey man, that's a risky play. So you need to understand that, and that's so important when you're evaluating whether you're going to take this a position there at a level like this. So what would you be looking at? So maybe a move to the upside here from this level, and we protect ourselves with a stop loss, right? Again, you're looking for that wick. So what's a conservative play in this case? I would say just right back up to that horizontal, right? You get a bounce out of that zone. That's, I'd say when it really comes down to it, you're looking at about a 2-to-1 coming out of that zone. But again, it's going to be smaller than that. Realistically, let's call it what it is. Like, it's going to take you a moment to evaluate whether or not you can get into that. So that gives you what, about 2.3. And then of course you got fees, you got things that you need to take into consideration. I don't really get too excited unless I can really get a 2-to-1 out of it. So that's something that you can look at and evaluate here in the near term. I would say I wouldn't take a long unless we actually get a rate cut though. So look for instability, volatility going into that announcement. But if we don't get a rate cut, I'm not taking a long. I'm just fundamentally, that would be kind of crazy. So that's that. Hey, shout out to Trade Intuition and all his homies. Thank you for coming here. I know we got a little raid going on. Much appreciated. Go check out Trade Intuition. Give him a sub. Thank you. Thank you for bringing your people, man. That's much appreciated. All right. So that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin in the near term. I will give you one key level that I would say mark on your charts. All right. If you guys are new, mark the level around 107.5, maybe keep it about 108. Why do I say that? And hear me out. All right. So some people have heard me say this a few times this week already. And I know I've already said it today. So if you were in ChartPrime in one of those sessions, you've already heard me talk about this. I'm not saying it's going here. Please hear me out. I'm not saying it's going here. I'm just saying that if it does come down here, there's a lot of fundamental reasons to see a bounce. Okay. So you do have the 200 aggressively working its way up as this extends, as over time, this 200 will intersect it eventually, adding a little bit of confluence. But for right now, you do have the 50, or correction, that is, I take that back, that is the dynamic reactor. I know it doesn't look like it, but I got the settings to make it happen. So I do like this area down here. There is liquidity down, I believe is a 107.1 if I remember correctly. So there's liquidity down here to see a wick, same kind of setup, see the wick come down, buying pressure come in, reestablish the zone above the golden pocket and the previous POC of this range right here where we've already seen that we've had support. I do like that opportunity for a little bit of a trade. Now, what you would develop though is a very clear lower high. All right, you could say lower low, lower high, understand the structure, right? So that's something that, you know, I take into consideration when I'm taking these long positions where we're starting to see, you know, a potential change in trend. All right, so there's always trends within trends. The higher time frame, very bullish, but you know, here nor there, you know, we're just evaluating. We're trying to get ahead of where the price action could go. So again, I'm not saying it could go down here. I'm just saying if it does go down here, and then you start to evaluate where would I get out? Well, I would not take something past this trend line. All right, because at this point, this would be established. All right, it would be confirmed as a lower high. And then you're looking at that trend line, and you don't want to try to take something past that. You want to be conservative, right? And take your money to the bank. If you take a trade out of this area, then you're not going to take it past that trend line. And what do you have here? You also have the monthly pivot. So it can vary on where this ends up playing out based on the projection of the price action. So as the price action works its way out, if it's slower, that changes where at you're looking at one for a horizontal. You're looking for confluence between this trend line and another significant area on the chart, right? So, just a swag, a guess. I mean, you could be looking at the POC or the monthly pivot, and it really just depends on how quick this price action works its way down. And that will really be your determining factor on where you can actually potentially take this trade up to. So if you're looking at it here, like let's just say, like, this is, again, I have a 9 to 5, right? I can't and just be in the charts every day, all day. So I need to try to project. I need to try to get ahead of the charts and try to figure out, like, where could there be opportunities? All right. And this one could be an opportunity, right? You take the liquidity off the table. You have a very significant area of support there where you can find a bounce. And then you have a realistic opportunity in terms of, hey, can we get a 2-to-1? Yeah, we can get a 2-to-1. And that's really just taking that trend and saying, okay, making an assumption of where you could find some resistance, right? And this is how you can really take some of the emotion out of it, because you have already projected where you think this price action can go. Now, hey, do you want a TP1 in there? Hey, I got up to the POC. You slide that stop loss once we break it. You want to break it, right? You don't want to just be like, hey, we hit it. Let me go ahead and slide that stop loss to entry, because if you do, you could just get rejected, come back down, and then ultimately retest where you entered. You want to see it break, all right? You want to see it break that level, and then you get that stop loss to entry, and that's kind of how you will prevent yourself from round tripping it, and then you can ride that thing up, and hopefully ride that thing up to your target area or your target level. So I do think a 2-to-1 from there is actually pretty realistic as well. But again, that's kind of how I play it conservative. And again, I have those levels identified. You can set alerts, especially once you're in the trade, to be like, hey, cool, time to set that stop loss entry. And here's my TP, set it and forget it at times, right? And then you're not subject to just eyeballs bleeding and nauseating because you're staring at the screen all the time. Now, one of the things I've been playing with here recently, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, is taking a trailing stop. And the way that I'm looking at it, let me go, I'll bring it back up so I can kind of explain it to you, because I've been testing strategies. All right, so I've been doing a lot of back testing in TradingView. And one of the things I was looking at, I was like, okay, cool. Like, we can take a trailing stop that gets triggered above, let's say 0.5, right? Or the POC. Here nor there, we'll just do a line in the sand. We'll say 111,400. Now, you can take the percentage between where you're triggering that and to the top. And if you say, hey, triggers here, understand that, hey, if it pulls back more than, let's say, 0.5%, right? You got to be realistic about it. If it pulls back more than 0.5%, there's two things that can happen. One, you could actually, it triggers and it pulls back 0.5% and you're done. That could happen. But what have you done? You have made profit. You've locked it in. Now you could see a continuation of price action, and that would be kind of a bummer. So again, it's something I'm playing with, but it's something, I'm trying to remove the emotional aspect of it. All right. The other thing that can happen is, hey, it does push up. It gets its rejection from the monthly pivot as expected, pulls back 0.5%, and boom, closes the trade. But the third thing that leaves you open here, and this is the more important, this is why I have to do more back testing. Okay. So when I'm talking out loud, kind of saying something that I'm researching, we'll say, the other thing that opens the door for is the continuation. Right? Because a lot of people are like, hey, it's conservative and you're just getting out and you're just taking your money to the bank every time. I'm hitting singles. Yep, that's my MO. I like to hit singles, but sometimes you want to catch those runners, right? You want to catch those runners, and I completely understand. So this is more for those that have, I would say, a higher risk appetite. Let's say that. It could continue to move, and if we get an aggressive move to the upside, what could happen is the price action continue working its way up, and it may not actually get that 0.5% or 1% pullback until maybe it gets all the way up here. And so that could increase the opportunity for some gains and having the opportunity to let something run. A second piece to that is you may get to this target area and you're like, you know what, I'm taking my initial off. I'm taking it off. I'm done. I got my initial. Good day. Let's see what happens, right? And you'll still be in profit even with the initial off, even if it were to pull back, but you also have the opportunity to make a runner. So there's different ways to skin the cat. Just throwing it out there as something that, I've been kind of experimenting with and kind of, working with a little bit. I've typically just been conservative. It gets up to the monthly pivot. I'm out. See you. Bye. I'll take my 4%, you know, maybe with a little 3x leverage on there and smile and be like, hey, good trade, man, 12%. I'm going to take that all day, every day. All right, let's look at some other charts here. USDT dominance, we got to tie that in here. We are clearly in consolidation. Now, you can see I put a fixed range volume profile up there because, like, I mean, why not? It's the consolidation is very clear. I don't know how appropriate it really is when you're talking about market cap dominance. But here nor there, it is respecting some of these levels, right? If you're looking at the value area high, the value area low, it has been respected. And you can see that we have now identified 2 zones where we've seen resistance and support consistently for USDT dominance. Remember, inverse relationship for USDT dominance. Now, that being said, we are coming off an area of support, right? It's working its way up, which is actually not ideal if you're looking for Bitcoin price to go up. So as it's working its way up, they just understand that we do have resistance above us, right? You got the 21, you got the 50, and you have the value area high, which we just talked about has been relative. So there could be some room to run. And how do you tie this in? I think that's the important part. Is okay, cool. Thanks for all that information. Almost borderline useless, but it's not. And the reason I say that is if we break the 21 SMA, right, and we see Bitcoin price action or price come down, what if we see a correlation between the level I had mentioned, right? Not this one, but down here at the weekly pivot. How do we tie this in? And that's the important part. And not everyone really talks about that. So you're coming down to a key level, a key horizontal level, the weekly pivot, and then you go back and you're like, oh, well, USDT dominance is coming up to a pretty key level itself. It's coming up to the value area high. It's coming up to the 50 SMA. I take that back. Sorry, that's the 21 SMA. It comes to the 21 SMA and it's in a horizontal level of resistance all at the same time. All right, so then in your mind, you're like, whoa, well, that increases the probability. It's confluence. It increases the probability that you could see a bounce for Bitcoin, a rejection for dominance. USDT dominance would be good, right? And that would open up the door for a potential bounce. Coming over to the total market cap. All right, now that is a direct correlation. Now, what if we see it come down to the 0.5? What if we see it come down to the moving averages that they're overlapped right now between the 21 and the 50? All at the same time. So you can see confluence between 3 different charts. And that to me is like bingo, like, or tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row, whatever you want to call it. That opens up the door, I think, and increases the probability for a successful trade. So I will be keeping a very keen eye on that. If those 3 charts align, I know it's going to be too good to be true. It's one of those things you look at it and you're like, oh, the stars have aligned. I got to take a long. However, you never know with the volatility in the market that is about to come down the pipe here in the next 25 minutes. All right, so that is that. Now, let me go over the chart, man. Let me go over the chart, or not the chart, the chat. So let me go over the chat. Say what's up to you guys. Man, this thing is flowing. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you guys for being here. Much appreciated. Let's go. All right. Who else we got? Who showed up? We got Scuba Gerbil. What's cracking, y'all? How you doing? Good to see you in here. Musta Benel, what up to you? How you doing? Little Fish, hey everyone. What up? What up? We got my man Mark Dutch. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. B Team Crypto, my dude. Joking Goat Giggles with the otters. I love it, man. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. FJ Trading. He's in the Discord as well. He has his own channel. He has his own Discord. But go support him as well. He's an excellent trader, dropping fire signals all the time. We got my man David Brumbelow. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Of course, Trade Intuition's in here. Already gave you a shout out. And the homies, thank you for raiding the channel again, man. It's much appreciated. Diamond Alchemy said, Alex O Crypto sent me. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. Much appreciated. Little Fish said, golden pocket on the daily. Yeah, let's go looky. Golden pocket on the daily. Now, are you talking about from high to low? All right. Are you looking for the inverse, right? Are you looking for a rejection out of that area? I would say yes. That makes sense. Let's see here, because really if you're taking, I think this is, so where I have this area here, where I have my Fibonacci retracement from low to high is from swing low here, from the previous range to the all-time high. So that's where I derived my Fibonacci retracement level right there, and that that played out damn well. But that's the area that I'm looking at again for a very significant area of support. And then of course you have the one from the high to the low, right? The inverse. If we are starting a trend to the downside, then you do have the golden pocket just above the area that we saw a rejection. All right, let's go back to the chat real quick here. And we got my dude Dave Digital. What up, bro? Good to see you, man. Win six-figure trades, man. It's coming. It is coming. If we get down to that 107 level, that could be one. And then the other area that I'm looking at, and I'm giving you all the sauce. If we come down to this weekly pivot, the 0.382, and things are aligning on USDT dominance as well as the total market cap, if you see those three things align, I think that's good enough for me. I think we're going to sling around some big bills, bro. I think we're going to do it. It's just, you got to have those things in my mind aligned. It's high probability, high confluence trades, man. I'm not in here trying to throw around a bankroll, because I know I need to be respectful of the fact that people may follow my trades. And so you got to be very careful when you're like, hey, I'm going to go big. I'm going to throw around a six-figure trade here. I need to be respectful of the fact that other people, you know, have very hard-earned money that they're going to be putting in as well. So I'm being very conscious of that. And I understand that when I say go, people are probably going to go. So just understand that, hey, it's got to align. It's got to align. You know, I'll take these other little trades here and there, you know, little intraday trades, cool, just having funsies with it. But when I drop that six-figure thing, I know people are going to jump. So I got to be very careful with that. But good question, bro. Good question. LBC, Lunar Beaches Crypto, one, congratulations, bro. Very excited for you. Happy for you and the family. And good to see you in the chat, man. Go check out LBC as well. He's got a channel, of course. And here we go. Scrolling down a little bit. Scrolling down a little bit more. All right. Let's go. All right. TradeFly's charts give me anxiety. Well, thank you for the positivity, Dave. I very much appreciate that. All right, so let's go to Ethereum. We'll take a look at Ethereum, and then don't let me forget, we do have to get over to NVIDIA. I do have a key level I want to show you guys on the charts there. All right, very nice push for Ethereum, but I mean, in all realism, potentially a lower high, right? So not too far diverged, I think, from Bitcoin. At this point, you are seeing a little bit of a cool off. But where would we find an opportunity to get back in? I'm not really looking. I mean, I know that the golden pocket is here. I do know that the 21 is there as well, but it's just not the area that I'm necessarily going to be looking for. I would like it to come back down. I know that liquidity is down here for Ethereum. So seeing that wick come back down here, down to 382, staying on top of this trend line as well. There's a couple of reasons, and the 0.786, right? You got the platinum pocket that's down in that level, and the 50 SMA. So there is an S ton of confluence here for Ethereum to see at least a price reaction, right? At least to see a bounce out of that zone. Will it hold up forever? I don't know. And that's okay if it doesn't, but we can probably catch a trade out of this area. And again, it's just like I talked about with Bitcoin. You want to see the reaction to that level, but there is a ton of confluence in this area. And I would like that for an opportunity here on Ethereum. Now, you do have support underneath you. Immediately, near term, right now, you have support underneath of you. All right, so let's be clear about that. Again, it's one of those things, is like, hey, this is my area where there's a lot of confluence. There is definitely liquidity down here, and I would look for this area as my more surefire area to get into a trade. So where is that? If you are just actually listening, that's about 4,300 is probably where I would set your alert. And then you can see some wicks down into that zone there, definitely down to the value area low. As low, I would say where I'd be comfortable, probably about 4,230 or so. All right, that's kind of where I'd be looking for that area in terms of seeing a bounce. Again, you want to see a wick though. You want to see buying pressure come in before you get too excited. About 4,230 would put you below this wick right here. Very important part, right? Why is that important? Because, well, the liquidity is underneath of that wick, right? It's building up. So if you want to know kind of like where it's at, so right where that wick is. We'll go ahead and just go one candle back, and then here, and then you're seeing basically this whole zone, really even on up, but this whole zone, there's going to be liquidity, because as the price action works its way up, as you get that ascending level of support, stop losses, stop losses, stop losses, leverage positions, leverage positions, leverage positions. The hottest spot actually could be a little bit closer to the 0.786. The hottest spot, if you were to look at it on a map, could be around there. It's just we want to take all that liquidity off the table, right? So having that wick go all the way down below that stop or below that wick, that would be even better. And matter of fact, just kind of going back, looking at, actually, you know, sometimes you got to zoom out and just get off looking through the soda straw. There's actually a really nice wick that comes down here. And so then that actually lets me know that there's probably some liquidity. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit because shit happens live. I am going to backtrack just a bit and say about 4,200 would actually be an area where you could see that wick come down to. So keep an eye on that. And that's just based off this wick right here. And that's really what's driving where your liquidity is. So really all that from here to here, all the way on up, there's going to be a lot of liquidity in that zone. And again, the hotspot still could be up here, but this is where most of the liquidity gets taken off. So there you go. I think you'll get a bounce out of that area. Again, just evaluate your reaction. Look for whether you get buying pressure coming in. Look to see if you start getting an impulsive move. Like if you get a big candle like this, obviously it's going to be, what I'm saying is don't put a limit order. Evaluate it once it gets there. That's kind of the big takeaway for that. But I think there's a nice opportunity for Ethereum to find a bounce somewhere in that 4,250, 4,300 area where you could look for an opportunity there. But again, I think cuts have to be on the table. A rate cut has to be on the table here. If it's not, I'm probably not going to take any positions. Just because I think the volatility will be a little bit too crazy. All right. So Ethereum, again, if you're looking, not again, but if you're just zooming out, you're looking okay. All right. Structure looks good. Ultimately, it looks very bullish for Ethereum. Let's go to NVIDIA. And, you know, not surprised to see that pulling back at all. What do I have on here right now? Let's take that off. Cool. But this is a zone we were looking at. And I just want to kind of like double down on it now. And the reason I want to double down on it is because the news that we talked about in the beginning of the show, right? Like if China is saying it's going to stop buying some of those chips, and it's a particular set of chips. If you read a little bit deeper, it's only a particular set of chips. And there's a model name associated with it. And even in the US, they're not selling well. They're not selling well here in the US either, but they have basically banned, you know, the purchase of those particular subset of chips. Now that's going to have an impact. And I'm not saying that price has to go down here to these levels, but there's some technicals that align. You know, you got a very clear horizontal retesting the top of the range. And then you got the 0.382. What you would like to see is this 200 work its way up. And if you can get that 200 up there in confluence with that level at about 150, I'd say 154 to about 150, maybe 149. If you add that piece of confluence there, that would be, I think, a very nice opportunity for taking a position on NVIDIA, especially if you missed most of this run up. That's a pretty significant run up here. Once it broke, I mean, you're talking about a 10% move. Where would I be looking at though? Like, right? It's not just about the entry, it's about the exit, right? Then I'd be looking probably at about 164, 165. Okay, so pretty short-lived move, but that what I think, one, you're going to keep with the structure, because at that point, what are we doing? We're going to be setting some higher lows and lower lows and lower highs, right? Moving into that direction. So you want to follow that trend, and you want to look at where you're finding a clear horizontal level right now. You can see it's respected that area twice. All right, bounce out of that area at about 164, 165. So I would not try to take it past that level. All right, so again, you get in, you get out. Probably take you a couple days, few days to make that move to the upside. And obviously you're going to protect yourself here, probably with a stop loss below about the 0.382. But I think that would be a nice opportunity for NVIDIA here. And it may take a while to get there, to be honest with you. But as of right now, we're headed in that direction. And so again, you got to be prepared, right? If it comes down there, then we take a chance. All right. Back over to the chat here. Bouncing to Valhalla. Wayne T. What up, bro? Good to see you in the chat, man. Lunar Beaches with a bango. Let's go. Good vibes are the only vibes. Y'all know. FOMO LOL. Let's go. All right. Let's see here. Let's look at Cardano. cool. So one of the things we're looking at, hey, let's see, do we get a breakout retest of a key level, right? And we identified this level, we were ahead of it, no doubt about it. But we're like, hey, if we get a breakout retest, we could look for a continuation of the upside. I would say that's off the table right now, okay? So again, this is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about like, hey, like there's very much an evaluation of what happens in terms of the price action when it interacts with these levels. This is a very clear giveaway. Like it's not even for a debate that this right here, that is not where you're taking a long position. Why? Because you see the selling pressure come in, a very extended wick is showing you that is driving to the downside. Let's go down to the hourly and let's look at it a little bit more. Oop, yeah, don't want that. All right. So yeah, you push right into it immediately. You're getting that rejection. So it tried to come back up again, was never able to really even crest that area with that follow-on candle. And then here you go, right? Like you're seeing it. It's just working its way down. You can start you're starting to develop that descending level of resistance, right? And ultimately you break it, right? So you have a horizontal right here. If you go lower time frames, you see all the body closes, then it breaks through, comes back up and retest. So this right here, this is the one, like if you were looking, if you potentially take a short, this is the one where you kind of get that confirmation. So you come down, you're breaking this horizontal level, up, retest, and then you see that selling pressure come in. Now, yeah, it could turn around and go up. I understand that, but like what more can you do? All right, you get that bearish candle coming out of that retest, and then again, you get a, it's not an engulfing, it's pretty damn close. Actually, this one is an engulfing right here. So that one, the body of the candle, obviously you can see that, right? But this is the area when you get that retest and you start getting that selling pressure coming in, that's where you're starting to say, hey, cool, like I could take a short out of this area based on what I'm seeing. And it just looks so much different, right? When you're looking at it, let's see what the 4 hour looks like. Coming on, there we go. So there you go, man. You would like to see, like, if you think you're gonna get a breakout retest, then you're looking for some candle closes up here. Some candle closes. You would like to see this impulsive move to actually grow through the area, right? When we identify an area of resistance, you want to push up a little higher, and then you're looking for it to come back down, right? So it comes up, comes down, and then goes up. You didn't get that. It never showed you that. All right, what it did show you is a rejection and then a retest of that horizontal level and then continuation of the downside. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. When you're making an evaluation, when you're looking at these key levels, when you're saying, hey, like, am I going to go short or am I going to take a long? And how do I do that around a key level? You know, that's kind of the sauce behind what you're looking at, right? Like, it's not just having these levels and blindly going into a position. Like, you want to see something. You want to see maybe an SFP. You want to see that liquidity grab. Like, there's a lot of things that you would like to see. You want to see a bearish engulfing coming out of that. That would be nice. That would be ideal. But there's definitely other bearish candle structures or setups that would key you in on taking a position, whether it's this way or that way. But this one to the top side, like, I would like to see it, you know, push through with a little bit more authority. Like I said, kind of an impulsive move to the upside and then come back down. And that will key you in on, like, okay, cool. That then might be an opportunity for a long, but that's just not there right now. Obviously, right? Again, benefit of the hindsight. Let's go ahead and look at some of these levels here. Look, see, came down, waffled in there a little bit, but what do? We got a little retest of that area. So look, man, right down. I actually remember talking about this trend line. I don't know if it was a couple days ago. It could have been last week. It's a pretty aggressive move, like, coming back down. But, like, honestly, I think if we get rate cuts today, this may not be a bad spot. I mean, this is more the ideal spot right here. You got down to the 618, golden pocket, and the trend line, moving averages or whatever. I mean, you know, obviously you like to stay above them, which you have now kind of got yourself above. I mean, that's further confirmation that I actually think, let me get rid of this box here. I actually think that could be an opportunity. I think if we see rate cuts today and the market reacts positively, I think you have a nice opportunity for Cardano. And I wouldn't take it any further than back up to this horizontal level at about 93 cents or so. You're kind of getting a squeeze, ascending level of support into a horizontal level of resistance. Opportunities there for maybe a little bit of a breakout. But hey, I think that this does open the door here. I like it the more I see it. Not bad. About a 6% move to the upside. I say that there's definitely some potential there for Cardano. Again, it's just, right? That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So if you lose that level, then you know, like, hey, then we're coming back down to probably, I'd say the 0.786. I'd say at a minimum, you're going to come back down to there. And that's at about 82 cents. But right now, holding strong. This level, I would say put this trend line on your chart. I know some people aren't big on trend lines, but when it is just respecting that trend line over and over again, you have to acknowledge it. And, you know, when things line up, you get some confluence there. You got the golden pocket and the trend line all in one spot. You know, that gives you the opportunity to see some positive price action. And that's what you're seeing right now. So again, there is an opportunity here, I think, to take this one up to about 93 cents. Protect yourself if you are looking at it. Again, I would wait for post rate cut announcement, which is coming up here, I think, in about 5 minutes. So I guess we're going to be seeing that live. Protect yourself, but I would wait for the announcement. So that might be one. You know what? We may take that one. We may take that one today. That may be an opportunity. Now it doesn't hit all the wickets, all the metrics in terms of getting that liquidity grab, but I don't know that you're coming all the way down here anytime soon. So, you know, sometimes you just kind of got to roll with what you got. Let's see here. Let's go. See what you guys got going on in the chat real quick. We running. My man. I'm going to go check something else real quick. Yeah. Let's go. All right. We're looking good on the... We're going to go and close this. I'm closing it because we're getting too close to the announcement. And this could be a big runner. This could be a big miss, right? Because could miss a pump based on the announcement. But here nor there. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner here. We got the Daily Degen for another 30% banger. And you guys made the vote. 45 votes in here, 71% moon, and you sent it for the win. And that's what's, I'm telling you, that's what's hilarious about doing the Daily Degen. We didn't do any TA. I literally just took it based on what you guys told me to do, just off the sentiment. And taking along into a rate cut announcement is wild, right? And you still win. So that's why I say, like, you know, trading with the trend a lot of times, I mean, that just increases your probability. And then if you enter into some risk management as well, right? That's, I think, probably the most key to all of it, is if you are looking at these trades, if you get around these key levels, it's just practice good risk management. And I think that alone is going to help you in your trading adventure, to be quite honest with you. All right, so 1056. I think we are pretty darn close. It is going to be 11, right? That's going to be the federal interest rate decision. Man, where? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. What? Where do you think the most? I don't know. I guess the real-time information would be for getting this interest rate decision. I'm going to see too how many of you guys are actually on right now. All right. Got about 20 of you on. Cool. Yeah, let's check this out, man. We're gonna try to watch this live. Oops. Over to the Discord. Hey, come check out the Discord if you guys have the opportunity here. Let's go through some P&Ls real quick. Woo! Rashad. Good lordy. 153%, my man. HRJ hitting that last target of Solana. Goodness gracious. Up 273%. I love seeing it. HRJ crushing it again. Crushing it again. And then Crypto Squid in there crushing it too. 126. Good lord, guys. I love it. I love seeing it. All right. Let's see here. Crypto Surfer, what up, man? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. We're kind of slowing it down, man, pumping the brakes a little bit. We did a lot of TA. We are actually going to try to catch this interest rate decision, and then maybe there could be some opportunities post rate cut decision here. Let me clear some of this stuff out. All right, we already banged out a winner on the daily degen. So let's do this. All right, nice 30% move. Cool. Kind of like Cardano right now, where it's at. Let's pull that up. Man, that's moving in a positive direction too. I wonder if people are front running this. Or are we just seeing that volatility right before the announcement? People are trying to front run the announcement, kind of thinking that they know. It's always that big, like, do they know something we don't know already? Or are people just trying to front run it? Anticipating we get that cut. Gonna be interesting. It's a nice move to the upside though. All right, this is a liquidation heat map. Let's see. How long before Powell speaks? Another, yeah, he speaks later, but I think the decision to make the cut is really what's gonna shake the market. You're gonna see some volatility while he's talking because people are going to, you know, take into account whether he's dovish or hawkish, and you'll see it kind of bounce back and forth as he says things. But he's been really a lot better about kind of like staying in the middle. Like there was definitely some, I'd say, clear expectations before when we were starting to get those the rate hikes. He was very firm, taking a very hawkish approach. We'll see. The thing is, right, we have a lot of conflicting data. Macroeconomic situation is a little bit unstable. So it's going to be interesting, right? Like I honestly, if he takes a cut here, I don't even know that he himself is going to be 100% on board with it. But let's, where can we get federal interest? I mean, I guess it's going to be right on the economic calendar. I just want something live though. It's not really fun to sit here and watch the economic calendar and just continuously update it. But it is 11 o'clock. Let's go. Let's just screw it. We'll go to the economic calendar. Nope. It says expect it. Still don't have it. You guys let me know in the chat if you guys see something. Why is this not? Of course. Let's do this. Go to the bookmarks, live stream tabs, and economic calendar. That'll make it easier. It's going slow right now. Everybody's tuning in right now. The website is super slow. That's hilarious. Ooh. Getting a little rejection there. Come on now. And 4.25. We got the cut. All right. So that is as expected. 4.25, guys. There it is. So what is that? That is a 0.25% cut. There you go. That was exactly what was expected. And now let's see how the market reacts. I think a lot of it's been priced in, to be reals with you, in terms of the overall market. But hey, why not? Whoa, look at that, man. Look at the volatility that's happening right now. Whew. Volatility Central. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth taking a position. Good thing I closed out the one trade, because look at that, man. That thing would have got liquidated. Isn't that wild? So that pumped out fund trade, 100% would have got liquidated. 20x leverage, And that's why I wanted to close it before we got that volatility. And that's why people talk about volatility in the market and they're like, hey, be careful, there's going to be volatility. Because if you're in a 20x play like this right here, see ya. That trade is gone. That is gone. So sometimes it's better to just be conservative. Now, ultimately, it may go in the direction, right? It may go, you know, to the top side, right? And that's ultimately where we were thinking it was going to go. I know this is Cardano. I understand that. I know what I'm looking at. But I'm telling you, if you were on Pump.Fun or on that chart, that would have liquidated you. All right, it's looking like it wants to go positive. A lot of buying pressure came in real quick, right? You get that dump right before the announcement. What do you guys think? You want to throw 5 on it for funsies? Total degen play, just for the record. Total degen play. What do you think? What the hell is going on? Well, we finally got a rate cut. All right, that is what was expected. That's what people were thinking. I think the volatility, you know, is right before the rate cut, right? People are getting out of the market and selling right before that decision, and that's why I think you see that big push down quite quickly. And now you're just going to see it bounce around a little bit because there's going to be volatility because people are trying to figure out what to do right now based on the decision. Now, ultimately, I think it's what the market expected. So I would say that's probably bullish, right? Because that is what the market expected. You are seeing a push up. Man, I should have probably took a play there, but why not? The other thing that's going to start to move the market a little bit is just when Powell talks. So when he talks, depending on whether he takes a hawkish or a dovish approach, like you're going to see some volatility there. And it's all based on some of the questions he gets, some of his responses. But right now, I mean, ultimately, that is what we expected to see. I'd say that's a good thing. All right, you didn't get anything. They didn't come in too heavy, right? You did not want to see a 0.5 either. I promise you that. That would have shook the market in its own right. But for now, I would say, you know, ultimately probably a good thing in terms of seeing it. We're going to roll with it. Let's have some fun here. Oh, of course, instantly getting a rejection. That's hilarious. All right, now this is just a degen play. It's only $5 before you guys call me crazy. Just having a little bit of fun. But why not? Why not? Complete degen play though. Just full transparency. Do not follow this one. And of course, right here at resistance, not ideal. You would like to see a breakout retest. If we were actually taking a serious trade, you would like to see this get over top and retest that level. So I just want to be clear with that, okay? Let me draw it for you. You would like to see it come out like that. And here is where we would look at it. But we're having some fun. We're having some fun. Got our first rate cut in a long time. Love to see it. And traditionally, you know, what you could see, I'll say what you could see, is you actually could see a little bit of a pullback in the near term, but ultimately should be a bullish thing over a period of time. And I think this is good in a sense that it leads us into, let's go to the charts real quick. A couple things here to think about. All right. I've showed you guys this here more so recently, but look, mid-September is typically where you see a little bit of a turnaround. All right. And you see some bullish movement. October, November, the last 2 years have been bullish. All right. Last 2 years have been bullish. So where we're at in the 4-year cycle, take that in consideration. We should be seeing a move to the upside. All right. Should be seeing a move to the upside, you know, based on 4-year cycle, or we should still be in an uptrend. And then you have the last 2 seasons that have showed you very bullish October, Novembers, right? So those things are starting to align. And then you got another catalyst, right? You got a rate cut. So even if we were to see a little bit of pullback here and, you know, the rest of September is okay, but you're still expecting for, you know, a few reasons why you could see some positive movement to the upside here. And that, you know, I'll say cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. Does look like Man, it is struggling. It is struggling. It just doesn't know what to do with this, which is interesting. It's very interesting. Like this should be a good thing for the market, theoretically, because it's what we expected, and that should put people at ease. A 50 later no, absolutely not. Yeah, I would actually very much disagree with that, Dutch. And the reason is you got to go back to look at what Powell's MO is. All right, Powell's MO is not to shake the market. He does not like to disrupt the market. What he likes to do is take a very conservative approach and say, here, I'm going to do a 0.25 in either direction, right? This is just his MO. This is what he likes to do. I'm going to take a conservative approach. I'll do a 0.25. We'll stop, we'll reassess, and then we'll make a decision on whether we are going to add another or halt, right? That's his approach. It's been his approach. It's been his MO for quite some time, to be honest with you. So that would be the expectation that, I would expect to see. So 0.25 all day, every day, bro, is what I would vote for in terms of what I think Powell will do. So having a little trouble with that area of resistance right now for Cardano. We'll see. I'm gonna put just a quick stop on it. Just in case it pulls back. I'm just gonna take this level right here where you see support. If it gets stopped out, then that'll be that. Again, that was just a flyer, a little bit of fun, $5, low capital. Interest rate cut funsies, I guess we'll say. But let's see here. Let's see how the overall market is reacting, because that's gonna be interesting. NASDAQ. Let's go to lower time frames. Positive. Or starting to be positive, at least. Okay, so we get delayed data, it looks like, for the NASDAQ. Guess you gotta pay for the good stuff, don't you? Let's see, going in to the decision.
Saravanon Harithyurangin subscribed to the channel.
But ultimately, today has really been positive. Maybe not. We're going all the way back here. No? I tell lies. I tell lies. I tell lots of lies. We're down a little bit. But I think you're starting to see some positive momentum now. All right, someone just subbed. I want to say thank you. I don't know who it is. I missed it. But thank you. Thank you for subbing. Much, much appreciated. T. Williams, what up? He said, man, I'm not touching this madness until it calms down, LOL. Or at least low leverage, because yikes. Yeah. Nah, 100%, man. I'm not throwing any kind of capital into this right now. I took a $5 funzy trade. Just having a little fun. But that's it, man. And that's just me having a little fun. Happy interest rate cut day is what I'll say. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. We got some key levels that we're looking at on Bitcoin here. And we got to see those things happen before we make any kind of moves. At least me. I won't say we. You guys do what you want to do. You guys do what you want to do. If you guys are a little bit late to the party here, one of those key levels is going to be right around 117, 117.5. You would like to see a little breakout retest of that area, but that's kind of confirmation, right? Like, you want to see that happen. Like, we're not taking a long right now into that. That's banana land. All right, that's silliness. Wait for the breakout retest. Wait for the confirmation. Wait for the higher probability play here. And you could even take that down a little bit more, down to the actual trend line itself. That would actually be even higher probability, but we'll keep it here for now. But you want to see that, right? There's some liquidity here, so you got to be very cautious with that. And when I say be cautious, it's because if there's liquidity here, you could see a nice wick up. If you get a wick up with a quick move back down into the range, then stay away. for obvious reasons. They're just grabbing the liquidity and coming back into the range. So it looks like it's pulling back a little bit. Not ideal. What else we got going on here? Let's see. We are looking at, let's go to the daily. Just kind of rehash. This, I would love to see this. All right. So you got the 50 SMA, you have the 0.382, you got the weekly pivot, and you have liquidity all lining up right here. So this would be a higher probability play for me. Song change, please. Well, I was all said, I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't even paying attention. I think it just changed. So hopefully you're happy now. This would be a potential opportunity here, right? See that wick down, come back, reestablish the range. Could be an opportunity to jump into something. But we gotta let that play out. So one thing I will do, let's set an alert on that, right? You go down and you grab that liquidity. I need an alert. So there we go. We got an alert set on that liquidity, comes down. What we'll look for is buying pressure to come in, candle closes above, and reestablish that range there, and that could be an opportunity. It looks like it's coming down. So I think that ADA trade is going to get wrecked in a hurry, unfortunately. We'll see. Interesting the reaction. Like I said, I think it was kind of baked in. Because it is not exciting or excited, at least not right now. Why is that? That's interesting. It's doing what you expected. Takes out some of the volatility. Wonder what old Trumparoo's got to say. The old orange man. He's probably damn if you do, damn if you don't for Powell. He's probably like, it's too late. It's too late. We need to raise interest rates. That's man. Could you imagine? Let's go to X. Okay. In favor of half point cut. Well, that means nothing right now. All right, officially cuts 0.25. I guess we'll just go. Let's go to his. That's a parody account. It is the real Donald Trump, right? Isn't that supposed to be his account? It's just... There we go. All right, let's see if he said anything. You know he likes to tweet. Doesn't look like it. Somebody take his Twitter away from him? It's probably a good thing. All right. So nothing from him. Interesting. Yeah, not much of a reaction, honestly. It's really not. So, I mean, we got what we were looking for at least. So there's that. But not really much reaction in the market. So you got some key levels to look for. Again, about 114.5. I would mark that on your charts as a nice level to at least start looking at if price action comes down there, or if the price comes down. And then again, 107, about 107.2, 107.1 is an area as well I would key in on. So 2 levels for you to look at to the downside. And then, of course, upside here, 117.5. You want to see a breakout retest. That could open up the door for a little bit of a continuation movement to the upside. So there you go. There's some key levels to kind of keep an eye on. And you guys kind of, you know, decide what you want to do from there. So we gave you a lot of stuff, a lot of setups, what to actually look for when we interact with those levels for those that are still here. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, get out of here, enjoy the day, get on with life here. Much appreciated to everyone that is in the chat and decided to tune in today. Much love. All right. Let me go ahead and switch that. My drink was in the way here. Drinking Alani. You guys ever had Alani? Obviously, no sponsor or any of that stuff, but it's pretty good. Small cans for me. so I don't get too much caffeine. It's only 10 calories. All right, I'm out of here. I hope everyone has a great day. Again, thank you guys for being here. Like, sub, do all the fun stuff. That helps the channel grow. And with that being said, you guys have a great day. As always, trade safe, be safe, and I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.